What is going on, everybody? Welcome back. MTG here with another episode. If you're new to the channel, hi there. So I've got the iPhone SE 3rd generation running iOS 18, but I also got the iPhone 13 mini. I've got the iPhone 15 Pro Max running iOS 18 as well. Those are separate videos, so definitely be sure to check those out as well. But I want to showcase each individual device running the latest iteration of iOS, because it's going to be a little bit different in terms of look and feel on each single device. So let's start off with movable iOS icons. This is something we've been asking for years. We finally get it. So watch this. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to move my settings icon right. If it does, there we go. Going to move right to the bottom, and as you can see, it moved the grids and the grid moved the apps to the left. So it still is kind of a little bit limited, if you know what I mean. And I'm going to also move my camera down to the bottom, and I quickly moved the mails back up there. So it still kind of wants to fill in some space, but for the most part, I can keep these separate just like that. So there is that. Another thing is the fact that right now it's in dark mode, and it pretty much dark modes or change the icons in dark mode. Most of them. I don't know why App Store is like that, but that's weird. And some of the other apps like YouTube. Oh, it looks like I have the old Twitter on this. Look at that. I mean, I'm not using my iPhone SE as my main device. I wonder how much this is selling for. All jokes aside, it's not going to dark modify like other apps. It mainly does like these really stock ones like photos and mail and whatnot. But nonetheless, we're going to go to edit. We're going to go to customize. So let's go back into light mode, which was the original. We can make it large, so we get bigger icons. We can make it small, so we get smaller icons. We can change the automatic. So right now it's in dark mode. Just go directly into dark mode. And you can kind of dark mode the main screen too. Or you can go into tinted. And it's really tinted right now. Look at that. And it tints every single app. And that Apple Store app right there is just full on red. So I'm going to change this just a little bit. I don't like how red this is, so I'm going to customize it. And I'm going to make it a little bit lighter. So now each of these apps are a little bit more tinted, and it gives a black. Most of the apps give like that dark black background, except the Apple Store, which is kind of weird. But now we have more customization for the iPhone. And for this, up until this point, a lot of us were restricted on how well we can customize our iPhone, but I think this opens even more doors. Some people are calling this, oh, Android is now on iPhone and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, it's nice to see that, you know, Apple finally brought this. I feel like they could have brought it before, but they just waited and waited. I have no idea why. Or maybe they just didn't wait. They didn't want to do it. I don't know. But it's here, and I think a lot of people are going to accept this with open arms. Next up is the redesigned control center. So with the older iPhones, obviously you swipe up. This kind of looks like Vision OS. I get a Vision OS look and feel to it. But right here is the general controls. If you swipe down, you're getting like the media controls, which feature a large album art and controls as well as AirPlay. And then you get, if you swipe down again, you're getting your connectivity controls. And it's cool that they kind of separated them into their own type of category, and you can change around, you know, the toggles in here as well. But I'm not going to go that much into detail. But I like how it's more Vision OS look and feel. And also on a side note, I kind of wish that, you know, these icons were able to change size into like a round icon or make it more Vision OS-y, if you know what I mean. Some may like that, some may not. I personally would have liked that. So next up would have been lock screen shortcuts, but here's the thing. We don't really get a lock screen shortcuts with this. We just swipe right to the camera, and that's really it. So we're not really going to be getting those lock screen shortcuts, from what I know, with the iPhone SE 3rd generation. So again, it's some things you don't get with every single iPhone. Next up, though, that we can try is the hidden apps. So let's say I just want to hide Twitter just because. So I'm gonna do require Touch ID, and I can now choose just require Touch ID, or I can do hide and require Touch ID. So what happens is if I just choose the first option, it's going to keep it there, but every time I want to enter the app, it's gonna require Touch ID. Whereas if I hide it and require it, first of all, it's going to just completely kind of get rid of it or hide it from the main screen. And if you go down here, you see hidden, then you're gonna click on that, Touch ID, and you see Twitter right there. And then you access the app just like that. So that's something really cool to see. Another thing is going to be the passwords. And I'm happy that there's passwords here with iOS 18, because I know a lot of people who forget their passwords. So it's good to have it all in one app. And it does have your saved app or passwords from like the Safari websites and whatnot. So that's also a nice thing to see right there. And also, if you do have the iOS 18 beta, there's a feedback right here to just report or to share any infos on like bugs and your experience with the latest iteration. Next up is going to be messages. And this is pretty much the main thing that I really like is send text later. You can schedule your text, which is really nice. You can send a message via satellite if you have the iPhone that's capable of doing that. And some other smaller features, but I just want to kind of mention that. I'm not too much of a big iOS type of, or iOS, I want to say iOS. I meant to say I'm not a big iMessage type of guy. I still use it, but it's like, I usually like to call more than message. So for me, it's nice to have it there, but it's just something that I don't really favor when it comes to the other features that were added with iOS 18. Next up is the mail. And for some, well, maybe it's not available, but I don't have the visual redesign right here with the mail, but it's gonna have a visual redesign new categorization feature, which automatically sorts incoming emails in different categories, depending on the content, as well as having access to dedicated tabs for promotions, transactions, and updates. Photos also does get a visual redesign as well. And actually, I'm just gonna quickly click on that. So there we go. I got the photos right here, and you can see it's a little bit rounder, gives that like Vision OS type of feel, at least when I look at it. So there is that as well. And do keep in mind, Apple Intelligence is not going to be available with the iPhone SE 3rd generation. It's going to be available with M series devices, M1 newer, as well as the A17 Pro, so 15 Pro and 15 Pro Max, and as well as probably iPhone 15 series. And the battery life is probably a question you have with the iPhone SE 3rd generation. I don't know. I just downloaded it today at the time of this recording. So I'd have to report back on how well it is, especially with the beta. I haven't come across any bugs just yet, but I will keep you guys updated. But that's really been it. I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, be sure to smash the like button, comment down below, and best of all, share this video because it really does help out the channel a lot. It will help push my content out to more people. That's been it for me, and I'll catch you guys in the next episode.